Yo, what's going on guys, Mr. here. Today I'm going to be going over one tip to heal every character in the game with Ana. This idea is obviously inspired by CarQ, but since he isn't doing it, I thought I'd step up and help the community. There are three main general tips that are good for all Ana players to know about. Number 1. When playing Ana, the friendly hitbox is much larger when compared to the enemy hitbox. Number 2. Canceling the animation of your reload is something that can easily separate a good Ana player from a great Ana player. Here's ML7 showing how to do it best.
Reload animation cancel. Her reload animation is in 3 motions. She pulls the cartridge out, then puts another one in, then cocks the gun. After she does the first 2 actions, you can skip the cocking and do any action other than shooting. So that's melee, nade, sleep, or nano.
Number 3. The classic Ana one-shot combo. Super simple. Wait till you hear this noise on the sleeping target and shoot, nade, shoot, punch for the fastest time to kill. Moving on to D.Va. She's straightforward to heal, and she has a big hitbox, so missing shots is much harder. She's a good nano target in situations where your main tank is dead and you want to try to swing the fight while she's in the front line. Otherwise, hold nano because it doesn't amplify bomb damage, and remech isn't really worth nanoing. Orisa's an interesting matchup since BAP is better like 70% of the time. Regardless, nanoing her is useful around the same situation for D.Va, just to initiate or to swing a fight, but try not to let it stack with Supercharger, because while it does stack with the damage buff, it's not very useful on a horse. When healing a Rein 1v1, try to wait until your Rein is swinging and throw the anti-nade when the enemy Rein hits back. While in between fights, you can also set up in a sneaky corner to try and sleep the enemy Rein to give your Earth Shatter the upper hand. But keep in mind this is super risky. Nanoing Reinhardt is also really strong, but try not to do it when you think he's about to shatter because it can make the enemy Rein predict the incoming ultimate easier. Communication makes this matchup so much easier. Similar to D.Va, Roadhog is a good source of ultimate charge and is a good friendly nade target when in a situation where there is an exorbitant amount of incoming damage, because his self-healing is affected by your healing buff from nade. But keep in mind, most Hog players take more damage on purpose to then turn that healing into personal ult charge. When he lands a hook, regardless of the target, it's good to secure the kill with a nade onto the hook destination. Nano is good when combined with Whole Hog, for obvious reasons relating to high burst damage as well. Sigma is an interesting hero to heal in general, but keep an eye on his shield so you know when he might need more healing than normal, especially if he's off angling or not with the core of the team. He's not the best nano target when it comes to damage, so refrain from giving him the juice unless it's called for, or if you need to scare people away to take space back. Winston Ana combo is undeniably the most fun combo, second to healing Balfara comp in my opinion. Try throwing nades when he goes in so it hits his target as well as him for the most value. But if he isn't initiating, just look for nades pre-fight and call them out for him. Nano mostly when the monkey calls for it, or when you see most fit. Just don't nano when there are more than 4 seconds left on Primal Rage, or when he's taking space or soft diving. Ball is kind of interesting because of his high mobility and CC against possible nade targets, so please be careful. Let him get health packs for the most part, but heal him in between his dives and disengagements for the most value. Try nading enemies caught in a slam on their way down, but don't worry about solo nading him too much because he's too fast. Nano Ball is kind of strong as well, but only when the ball knows what he's doing. 90% of the time, just give it to someone else who can get more value out of it. Don't nano Azaria if she isn't above 80 charge or has the means to be. Communication is best here because for Peel, she's only second to D.Va. Look for when Ashe goes for dynamites to try and find a good nade position because the odds are if she's finding an opening, you can find the same one. Nanobob can be super good, but with the amount of possible CC against him, it's just too risky most of the time. On the flip side, nanoing Ashe to set up for a good dynamite has a lot of possible value with its obvious downsides. Otherwise, just look for a better target. Healing Bastions can easily become difficult simply because he can't move very much. Keep in mind he gets his value primarily from being in turret form. Accordingly, Nano can be used for the damage reduction as well as the 250 instant healing to keep him going. Nading Cassidy's flash target is a good follow-up to help secure the kill. Otherwise, he isn't the ideal nano target unless you are confident of the player's performance outside of High Noon. Doomfist isn't really helpful to you outside of stunning shields for a quick nade follow-up, but Nano Doom is extremely strong at the right times. Echo and Ana only really synergize with copy, but keep in mind it's best to nano after the copy animation is complete at the beginning and the end because transforming in and out of duplication will purge any and all effects including anti and heal buff from nade. When it comes to healing Genji, it's more or less the other healer's job assuming you have a main support to help. Otherwise, give him shots where you can and keep him in touch for nano if he wants it. When you know he has blade, be ready for any time for nano because to an extent, if he blades without nano, it is on you. Hanzo Ana is a weird matchup for sure, but ask for Sonar to look for shoulder peak nades. It's strong against teams that like to stay in one spot, and remember, splash nades are poggers. There aren't much text between the two that correlate with any of Ana's abilities, so unfortunately there are no tips for these two. Nanoing Pharah at any time is super strong in the right hands, but when she barrages, she is most likely dead, so try to heal as much as you can and hope the enemy team dies before she does. Nanoing Reaper is super strong in the right hands, but when he uses his ultimate, he's most likely dead, so try to heal him as much as you can and hope the enemy team dies before he does. Nanoing Soldier is super strong in the right hand. Yeah, there isn't much else. And the other DPS shown below are super low value nano targets, depending on the player, obviously, excluding Tracer. Nano Pulse Bomb does increase the damage, but similar to Cassidy, make sure they're able to get value outside of just using their ultimate. Be aware though, when your Tracer is going to bomb a sleeping target, make sure not to stick the Pulse Bomb because the initial damage of the stick will wake them up and give them a chance to protect themselves. Place it beside them to avoid this. Ana Baptiste is extremely strong because of the healing you both bring, but keep in mind that Baptiste does a significant amount of raw damage compared to you, so focus on healing the mass of your team while paired with an aggressive Baptiste. It's almost like a trade-off. You heal, they damage, vice versa. Continue looking for more nades and keep DPS to a minimum because Bap will compensate. When matched with a Brigitte, it's primarily her job to peel, but if you can't control her, or if they like playing up, just play similar to the Baptiste duo, with healing your team as your top priority. Same situation with Lucio as it is with Brig, but stay in his aura for safety regardless if he's healing or speeding, assuming he isn't in their backline. With Mercy, try to understand that they really should be pocketing and blue beaming as much as possible, so you are really the only healer for the most part. If they peel for you, great. If they don't, try to die in a position that is safe for you to be rezzed, assuming they have it off CD. The Moira matchup is very similar to Baptiste as well. Look for nades during Coalescence because she beams through shields and it's likely that you can get a kill from it. With Zenyatta, nade your teammates during his Transcendence to enhance the Transcendence healing and let him heal when you aren't fighting to have his ult charge stay high. Anyways guys, that's all the tips I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I am planning on doing one per video on each of the healers, continuing this series. It took about an entire 48 hours to both record and edit, so I really hope you guys enjoyed. I put a lot of work into this. I really had a lot of fun making it as well. Having features on in the future would be amazing as well, possibly getting features like, I don't know, Nolan or ML7 himself or CarQ or anyone. So feel free to share this to all your friends and try and get the word out there that I'm looking for some content to be done. And thank you so much again to CarQ for actually giving me the idea to make this video. Every video or clip or little snippet that I use in this video will be linked in the description, including all the music that I used. So go check that out if you are interested. And last but not least, thank you guys, the viewers, for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see more of this kind of content. That's all from me. I'll see you in the next one. Have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.